Hello, Doug. You are up first, sir. How is it going?
Hey, how are you?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good. You got a hand for us?
I do. I'm not proud of it, but we'll see how it
We'll
goes.
see. We'll see. Where is this played out of?
So this is in Encore Boston Harbor.
Encore Boston Harbor. Oh, by the way, yeah, Nick Airball losing $750,000. That was the story on this past week in poker, and Rampage up a 500,000. Encore Boston Harbor, right in my neck of the woods. Does that place piss you off as much as it pisses me off now post COVID?
I probably don't go enough to be pissed off, um, but it's not the best. It's not what it was before COVID for sure.
Well, it's not just that they increased the rake, but as I continue to say, I've never seen a poker room where they don't allow you to cash out or color up. There's many things going. Yeah, there's many things going wrong, and I don't know if the local people know that it's not like this in other card rooms. First of all, they only make you can only buy in for $2,000 at a time at the cage, even though there are bigger games. You have to just keep going back to the cage. That in itself is just stupid. But the idea that you have to take your chips and cash them out at the main cage downstairs at the main casino where there could be like hundreds of people in line and they won't even color you up upstairs and there's no cash out is just ridiculous. And the rake that they have, it's unbelievable that they call that place an encore and a win. But I digress. All right, what's the game size?
It's 2-5.
Okay. So this is a 1K cap, right? Or is it 1,500?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's 1K.
Okay. Yeah.
So we got 8 players at the table.
Uh-huh.
I'm about 1175 effective with who will be the main villain in this hand.
Okay.
I am. So I'm sitting in UTG +2 in this hand. Folds to me. And I raise to 15 with ace 4 suited in spades.
So +2, ace 4 of spades to 15, kind of a small open, just like 3x, okay?
Yeah, most people were probably going to 20. I like going to 15. It seems to me like it gets basically the same job done for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
Once limpers are involved, I'll probably jump it up like 10. If if there's a limper, I'll jump it up 10. But for my just standard open, and then everyone folds and both blinds call.
So small blind, big blind call. Okay, so we're right around 45, but then they take a massive. Well, the rake's 10% up to $10, I believe. But we'll just call it 45. Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
So the flop is ace of diamonds, 5 of diamonds, 4 of clubs.
Ace of diamonds, 5 of diamonds, 4 of clubs. So it looks like, sir, you've got top and bottom here.
That's right. Yep. Pretty good flop.
Yep.
So I'm first to act. I bet 25.
So check. Right?
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Sorry. Check.
Uh-huh.
I bet 25, and both of them call.
So check. Hero bets 25 into 45, and both call. Interesting, because, I mean, obviously you have an ace and a 4 here. I mean, there's diamonds. There's some small straight draws. 6-7 is a straight draw. A lot of people will defend out of there with an ace as well. So, I mean, I like the spot for sure. I mean, I would thinking about trying to get in 3 streets here as much as possible.
So the turn is the king of hearts.
Okay.
I got about 120 in the pot here going to the turn.
Yeah, and the thing about that is that really shouldn't give anybody aces up that didn't already have it, right? I mean, you would think that people would 3-bet with ace king. Maybe not always, but you would think. I mean, maybe like the small blind can have some ace king, but people should be squeezing. I mean, it's not unheard of to see people flat, but I would bet, especially against a $15 open, you're going to see a high probability of somebody 3-betting, with that hand in that spot,
I totally agree.
Mm-hmm.
This felt like a very good hand for this. It felt like a great card for me, sort of in every respect. For my range, it could even give me a set of kings if I continued on the flop. Certainly give me aces and kings. In this particular case, it didn't help my actual hand strength, but it just seemed like a much better card for me than it was for the blinds.
Okay. Yeah.
So I continued betting for 80. They both checked to me. I bet 80 into 120. I guess a little bit less than 120 once the rake, but 120.
So here it goes 2/3 here to 80. I mean, I probably would go to probably close to full pot. I got to be honest with you. I mean, here's the thing, right? If someone has a king high diamond draw, they're not going to fold. I still don't think at this level people are folding out ace X yet. So you're going to get a lot of your value now in this spot. I feel like on the turn, I probably would have done 100 to 120. I mean, it's just something that's a little bit subtle. And the funny thing is that, the reason why you can sort of take that type of sizing is because, let's say, for example, the small blind had like ace 7 suited or ace 8 suited, there's a very good chance they're supposed to fold on the turn with a guy behind them when you barrel here again. But they're never going to fold, though, pretty much at 2-5. So that's why I would probably just go, a little bit larger. But okay, so you go 80. Yeah.
So I go 80. The small blind folds, and then the big blind wakes up and raises to 320.
Check raises. How deep were you guys, by the way? I'm sorry.
So we were 1175 to start the hand. So after he makes this raise to 320, he's put in 320 plus 25 plus 15. So he's put in about three.
Probably has 775 left or something like that, right? I mean, you'd have about 775 left effective. I mean, if you call here, the pot would be what? 200, 620, 200, 520, 760, and then you'd have about a pot size bet left or something like that.
Right.
I think this is just a fold. I gotta be honest with you.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's just a fold. When somebody now, the only thing to be said here is that, and it would be obviously harder if you had ace king. I mean, there's a couple of things to be said. You do block pocket fours, like I acknowledge that, and also this guy overcalled on the flop, which usually would like lend itself to be slow played off less often.
That's really what threw me here.
Right. Whereas on the, like, if the small blind it pulled this on the turn, then you'd be like, oh, he was slow playing, right? Like he wanted to rope people in. It's kind of interesting that the big blind just called on the flop after the other guy called. Usually you would see that sort of as a reflection, but I got to be honest with you, no backdoor coming in here on the turn. I mean, call it exploitable. Like, what do you think that he is raising with here?
To be honest, my mind was in. I had a hard time thinking through this clearly in the moment, but I didn't think pocket fives or ace five was going to be overcalling the flop very frequently at all. So I had a hard time putting him on that, but I figured it was possible, maybe from time to time, that he slow plays even after the small blind is called. I thought it could have been king, like a king high diamond, or a diamond, it could be a diamond combo draw with a deuce or a 3 that he was just emboldened by now that the small blind was out. Because I guess maybe he's more comfortable raising to try and get one opponent to fold, where I had already done the job for him with my initial bet on the turn. But
like a hand like 3-7 of diamonds, 3-8 of diamonds, something like that.
Well, any diamond combo with a 2 or a 3 is a combo draw at this point.
Right, but you have to think about
it was like on the flop too.
Right, and you also have to think about like what hands though are played in as a VPIP in this spot. That's what I'm saying. It would have to. I mean,
well, he was the big, and it was a small open, right?
Right,
so
right.
I don't know.
I mean, sure. Those are like queen deuce of diamonds, queen 3 of diamonds. That's not check raising the flop, but waits to check raise the turn when the king comes, when you're representing ace king.
I know.
And for some people that are saying like kings up, I don't think many people are going to check raise kings up here. I gotta be honest with you. Like if he overcalled king 5 or king 4, I mean, it's possible. Now, some people are saying, "Oh, you're giving him like just 3 combos of 5s, 1 combo of 4s. That's 4 thick value combos. Maybe like a deuce 3 suited once in a while." I know it's a thin value range, but this is real. I mean, when somebody check raises the turn, when you can have ace king, that is very, very strong. That is very, very strong.
No, I mean, it was a great board. It's a great board for me as the pre-flop raiser from early position versus him who's just calling out of the blind. I totally agree.
So it sounds to me like you called.
I did call.
All right, so you put in 640 here on the turn. So now the pot is 760, right? 760?
Yep.
Okay.
That's what I got.
760, yep.
And the river is the 3 of hearts. So the front door diamonds do not come in, and then this puts a one-liner. So any deuce is a straight now.
All right.
And if he was raising with 6-7, I guess that got there too.
So the river here is the three of hearts. So it puts a one-liner out there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, puts a one-liner. And I mean, obviously the difference here is that if he was raising with deuce X of diamonds, right?
Right.
Or something like that. I mean, that's the only thing. And 6-7. I mean, the other combo draw would be 6-7 of diamonds that comes in here, which again, I still would think would probably be played with a very, very high propensity as a check raise on the flop, which is a 15 out combo draw, not waiting to check raise
Agreed
on the turn. So,
yep, I agree. So the big blind jammed,
and so big blind jams for.
I had it in here as like 8-15, but it could have been a little bit less. I don't think it makes a great deal of difference. It's I think it was a little bit more than the pot.
So I think now that he jams, you can take out any hand that he might have been like check raising for value that's worse than yours. If we would sort of go down that route, right? If some people said like he might have kings up or something like that.
Yes,
right.
I agree. I never seriously considered kings up. I probably should have on the turn, but I definitely don't think even if he is doing that on the turn, he's almost certainly not doing that on the river.
Yeah, I mean, a combo draw that I haven't. I mean, there are a couple of draws here that miss that might play this way, which are the Broadway front door diamond draws that turn a straight draw. So Queen Jack of diamonds, Jack 10 of diamonds, and Queen 10 of diamonds. So that's like 3 combos. I mean, again, possible. And now 6-7 again gets there, but it is kind of interesting that he I mean, he really should be. I mean, the one-liner to a deuce shouldn't scare him against an early position raiser, right, if he had a set of 5s or a set of 4s. But it will sometimes slow people down. But I think now you have a fairly trivial fold. I mean, I guess if you think that he's Broadway diamond heavy enough here, I mean, you're getting about 2-1. But I think I live to see another day now.
Yeah, and I did fold. What really threw me on this hand was his overcall on the flop. And to me, it just struck me as his thick value, except for like, deuce 3 of diamonds, maybe is just like, they don't have anything to worry about. They think they get like the super nuts, but like, it just struck me that he's not going to slow play after the small blind calls with a lot of his thick value. And so when we got to the turn, I had it in my head like, all right, well, maybe he's just now deciding to just like blast off with a diamond draw. And so I felt like I was too strong to fold on the turn. I'll have ace queen. I could pitch ace queen. I could pitch ace jack suited. I could pitch 10 suited, ace 10 suited, excuse me. But ace 4 with, aces up at that point was too strong to fold. And then I got here. I'm thinking, well, can I really fold now getting 2-1 when, I beat all of those draws virtually, except for, literally, I guess, 2x of diamonds I don't beat now. But I was thinking if he's raising on the turn with 2x of diamonds, he's probably also raising with 3x of diamonds, right? They're virtually the same hand, unless you're thinking it's a combo straight draw. I'm just thinking like queen deuce, jack deuce of diamonds. If he's raising the turn with those, then he's probably also doing it with the 3. And then when the 3 hits, I know you say people generally don't bluff with a pair. In this particular instance, I don't think anyone would legitimately think that a pair of 3s has any showdown value. So he might just rip it with that too, in which case I would beat it. I don't know.
It is kind of interesting because somebody in the live chat said that they might actually do more calling on the river now than on the turn. And I can understand that point where it's so polarizing here at the end. You can sort of go through that thought process where if sets don't bet like this and aces up, like ace 5 doesn't bet like this, then it's really, really sort of cuts down on the hands. So, I kind of washed over it. I mean, could I maybe talk myself into a call on the river getting 2-1? Usually I won't see people put in this type of money though, but it is a good bluff card though. Did you ever find out what he had?
I didn't. I didn't ask him in the moment. I went up to him when I was leaving, And I'm like, hey man, what'd you have in that hand? He was like, what hand? Like pretending like the biggest hand that he had played in the last 3 hours. He didn't remember. And he said, oh, I missed my diamond draw, which, I think he probably would have said that no matter what, but I did believe him. I thought there was a decent chance that he missed
Yeah,
diamonds.
yeah. I think I'm going to pull an audible here and actually think about this a little bit more on the river. Where if you, I was sort of washed over because I would have probably followed the turn that I think you probably can find some calls here on the river, as the live chatters say. The more I think about this one, the more all those hands are gonna continue to bluff. And if this is just a straight here and that's it, then you could talk me into the call. If he's never making this play with a set, then I could maybe get talked into a call. So that's kind of interesting. I do think that the important inflection point here is that I fold turn. So I mean, again, if he said he missed the diamond draw, then it's literally going to be queen jack, queen 10, or
Maybe 3x.
or 8-6 of diamonds, something like that. Queen jack, queen jack 10, something like that. But interesting call. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.